Let's go Falcons! Hey yo, batter up, let the ball begin. Solano Falcons, bout to show you how you win. Cause this is our year, man forget the past. We take it over right now with our pitching staff. Yo, it's game time, so let the games begin. So put them on the field and we gain in a win. Hey yo, it's game time, don't you hear the people chant? Cause this is our house, make way for the champ, it's game time.
Hello and welcome everybody to the Solano College Sports Network. We are here in Fairfield, California at Billy and Louis Yarbrough Stadium for Solano baseball. The Falcons are taking on the Mendocino Eagles in this one of the first game of the final series of the season for both of these teams. These two teams are both tied in the Bay Valley Conference. And Blake, what should we look for from the Mendocino Eagles in this one?
Well, they're coming off a back-to-back series win, and they outscored their opponents 22-8. So their bats are going to probably still be a little hot from that game. Although they did have a 4-day break, so we'll see if that'll have any effect. And then, of course, we'll look for their pitcher today. Bill McGee not only has a cool name, but he's 4-6 on the season with an ERA of 8.6.
Yeah, and for Solano, they've been sort of struggling in April. The last 10 games, they've 3-7, and their offense has been good as of late, but it's going to be really important in this one for their pitching, going up against the Eagles, who have scored 100 runs in their last 10 games. So offensive juggernaut for Mendocino, and for Solano, they're going to have number 13, freshman Will Lingua on the mound for his first start of the season. And another disclaimer, it's going to be a little weird, but Solano is the visitor as Mendocino is the home team, although we are here at Billy and Louis Yarbrough Stadium. That's why you see Nico Castrillo leading it off for the Falcons here, going up against the right-hander, Bill McGee. First pitch is underway, and it is outside for ball one.
Kind of weird we're seeing Solano in their away uniforms as we are at their home stadium. Again, we kind of really don't know what's really behind that, as they'll be home on Friday.
This one's blasted to left center field. Monday will be able to make the catch, though. Castrillo just missed that one, and that'll go down as the first out in this one. So defensively for the Eagles, and out in the outfield, left fielder, we will see Rowan, Aiden Rowan in left field, Jacob Monday in center, and Tucker Morgan in right. And for the infield, third baseman, number 27, Shane Poe. Shortstop, number 3, Adrian Villalobos. And at second base, it'll be Wyatt Curdy. And at first, Brendan Coffindaffer with Bill McGee on the mound and Derek LaFerriere behind the dish in this one. So here's the second baseman for the Falcons, number 4, Victor Vega. So he's already up in the count, 2-0. Pops this one up. It'll be playable for Curdy as he ranges into shallow right field.
Now batting for Solano, center fielder, number 15, Jackson Bates.
2 quick outs for the Eagles in this one.
So here's the center fielder for the Falcons, batting third as he always does, number 15, Jackson Bates. Looks at strike one. Jackson in his last 20 games has 23 hits, 5 home runs, 21 RBIs, and 5 steals. And he leads the team with a 1.1 OPS, which is on base plus slugging, as he looks at a good curveball from Bill McGee for strike 2.
Nice pitches by McGee, both well-deserved strikes, and Bates is down 0-2 now.
Another curveball, that one will stay up for ball one. McGee trying to build off his last outing. It was a rough one. He only went 3 1/3 innings, gave up 9 hits, 5 walks, and 12 earned runs, which kind of shot his ERA for conference play and the season. He comes into this one. This will be his 12th game started. He's 4-6, the 6.09 strikeouts per 9, and an 8.58 ERA on the season. So now it is 2-2 with 2 outs to Jackson Bates. Fastball, good take outside for ball 3.
Good eye by Bates as the wind is picking up here as it does at its random occurrences.
The 3-2, high for ball 4. So a 2-out walk for Bates will bring up the 4-hitter, number 9, catcher Austin Mendocino.
Catcher number 9, Austin Mendocino.
So that's Jackson's 21st walk on the year. He leads in that department. And Austin, obviously behind the dish in this one, got the game off in our last broadcast with Nazarati behind the dish. Ended up pinch hitting and replacing Nazarati and finished the game out with his catcher duties. High fastball for ball 1. And Bill McGee leads the team in walks, so he is definitely prone to giving up walks, some command issues this season. Bates takes off, throw down to second in time, and they got him. Good throw from the catcher, number 25, LaFerriere, behind the dish for the Eagles, and that gets Mendo out of the top of the first. As we head to the bottom of the first, we'll see the Solano defense coming up next.
Hi, my name is Cameron Anderson, and I'm the basketball and football announcer, and thank you for watching the Solano College Sports Network.
If you have an interest in a career in sports broadcasting,
whether it's behind the scenes or on camera,
then this is the class for you.
Class is held every Wednesday from 1:30 to 4:30 in room 121 alongside the library building.
For more information, contact Greg Poff. That's me at solano.edu.
we hope to see you here next semester. And remember,
it's more than just sports, it's an education.
All right, and we are back for the bottom of the first. A little different this time, as we said. Solano is the away team, as you can see, wearing their gray pants, and the Mendocino Eagles in all white. There's Jaquez down the line, and that'll drop for his first hit of the season. So the DH, number 35, Jose Jaquez, came into this one 0 for 1 on the season. And there it is, his first hit of the year against number 13, Will Lingua, who will be on the mound for Solano.
Wow, good first hit of the season. First pitch, too, and just inside that foul line for a single.
Yeah, it looks like they're immediately going to pinch run for him. Looks like that's number 14, Alex Whitehead. So Whitehead quickly comes into this one. And here's the catcher for the Eagles, number 25, Derek LaFerriere. That one high for ball one. So interesting enough, as I said, Mendocino scored 100 runs in the last 10 games, so they have been on one, batting .330 as a team this month, and they have 39 stolen bases in those 10 games. So a fast team and definitely prone to steal some bags. We're probably going to see a lot of quick moves and slide steps from Will on the mound, trying to hold this running game to a halt as much as possible. Austin Mendocino behind the dish, good arm. LaFerriere drops one down, it's a good one. Lingua going to have to get off the mound, throw to first, is not going to be in time. You can see LaFerriere's wheels running down the line, that one. He leads the team with 27 stolen bases, has only been caught stealing twice. So a lot of wheels for a catcher. And in digs the third baseman for the Eagles, number 27, Shane Poe.
Yeah, Solano's pitching. Who's ever on the hill today, whether it's Will or somebody else later in the game, just needs to kind of just watch your surroundings and watch those leadoffs.
So first and second, still nobody out. Curveball, good pitch on the outside corner for strike one. So Poe in his last 10 games, batting .488, has 20 hits and a 1.190 OPS, leads the team in that department. He has been on fire in this Eagles offense. Not a whole lot of power, only less than double-digit home runs for the team, but a lot of hits. That one in for strike two, so Lingua quickly gets ahead of the count here, 0-2 to Poe. Oh, and 2 to the third baseman. Curveball gets a piece of it.
And yeah, like you were saying, Cam, not too much power on this team. I believe that in home runs they have 9 on the season, but Poe does have, he leads the team in home runs. He has 5 of those, so a little bit more than half of those. So he would probably be their best hitter. So if Lingua can get this out here and end the inning, it'll be good for his confidence.
Fastball popped up. Pridey going to run back. Has a play. He'll make the catch. Whitehead fakes the tag. Nice running play from Jason Pridey over there at first base. And he will nab Poe, the most dangerous hitter in the lineup, for the first out. But in steps the shortstop, number 3, Adrian Villalobos. Villalobos batting .320 on the year and is right behind Poe with 30 RBIs compared to Poe's 31. Leads the team, actually one behind Poe as well, in walks with 21 to Poe's 22. Fastball outside for ball one. One and 0 to Villalobos. Curveball, good one in there for strike one.
Nice pitch by Will. Nice curve.
Will comes into this one with a 13 ERA, only in about 12 innings of work now, and this is his first start and his 10th appearance of the year. 9 of his 10 appearances coming at home as he gets the fastball over for strike two. So both of these pitchers coming into this one sort of struggling as of late. So it should be a lot of offense in this one. Good to sell tickets. Curveball in the dirt. Good block by Mendocino will hold both runners.
He was up quick and he found the ball very quick too. Mendocino is just a really good catcher overall.
So 2-2 with 1 out and 2 runners on. Will got himself into an early jam with first and second, nobody out. Trying to work out of it right here. Fastball, ground ball, Vega flip to short to Castrillo on to first. And Pridey will dig it out with a nice stretch over there for an inning-ending double play. Good defense from Solano, and we will head to the top of the second. It'll be Mendocino, Judkins, and De Guzman coming up for the Falcons.
Stand by, we're going to go to cut one. And cut one. Cross court to Audrey Jones. Audrey for three. It is good! With 1.3 seconds left on the game clock. Audrey Jones with one of the biggest shots ever.
The sky's the limit, really, with
All right, and welcome back for the top of the second. Austin Mendocino will lead it off after he looked at one pitch before Bates was thrown out at second. Caught stealing. So only 12 pitches in the first for McGee. Fastball low for ball one. The 1-0. Good eye. Fastball outside, taken.
Mendocino, one of the more reliable bats for the Solano team, batting just above 330.
Fastball outside, 3-0. Yeah, Mendocino having a great season, although he is 7 for 35 in his last 10 games. Sort of having a little bit of a slump, but that's going to happen when he was batting 480 in March. So he looks at strike one, auto take, 3-0.
Yeah, you got to, I mean, you know, it was phenomenal what he did in March, but I mean, you have to come back down to earth eventually at some point, you know. I mean, he is leading the team in RBIs, though, with 28.
Fastball, ground ball. Villalobos will play it on the hop. Throw to first in time for the first out here in the second. Yeah, I mean, in March, he went 19 for 39, had 4 home runs, 20 RBIs in 11 games.
Wow.
Hit 487 and had an OPS of 1.5, almost unheard of. So here's the DH in this one, number 28, Zion Judkins. Judkins playing well in conference play as well. 2 home runs. Judkins batting .291 in conference play. Fastball inside for ball 2. So McGee having some command issues, although when he does come in the strike zone, Solano's been able to put the bat on the ball, just not any good luck so far. That one spiked and low for ball 3 once again. Back-to-back 3-0 counts.
See if Zion can take advantage of this.
Fastball. Ball 4. Judkins will walk with 1 out here in the second. So with 1 out and runner on first, that'll bring the third baseman to the box, number 18, Eli de Guzman. Fastball, swing and a miss. Big cut from Eli. Mendocino's woes this year has been their pitching. Their last 22 games, they've given up 180 runs, 235 hits, 18 home runs, 105 walks, with a team ERA of 7.7. Their offense has done their best to try to keep them afloat, but the pitching has been a real struggle for them this season. 1-1 to Eli. Fastball popped up. First baseman Coffin Daffer will make the catch. So he had to range back and make an acrobatic catch in foul territory for the second out here.
Yeah, nice catch. Kind of had to twist his body almost in a full 180, but he still ended up getting it. And now Mendocino has 2 outs already.
Here's the first baseman for the Falcons, number 17, Jason Pridey. Pridey has been very consistent for the Falcons this month and really the last 2 months. Fastball catches the inside corner for strike 1. Two outs, Judkins at first. Fastball, swing and a miss.
Big take by Pridey, but he's been, like you said, he's been so good in these last couple months. He's kind of, that duty's kind of fallen on him. They expect him to kind of, still pick up that type of pace and be one of the better consistent bats.
Batting .347 in conference play. Fastball fouled off. .28 pitches for McGee up to this point. The 0-2 in the dirt, gets by LaFerriere. Judkins rounding second, he will hold up there. So another spiked fastball for McGee, and this time it'll cost them 90 feet as Judkins will now be in scoring position with 2 outs.
Yeah, let's see if Pridey can hit Judkins home and put the first run on the board for the Falcons and of this game.
The 1-2. Just low for ball 2. Pridey with 12 walks in conference play. Third on the team in that department. Two outs. That one outside for ball 3. So another 3-ball count here. McGee's third this inning. 4th of the game so far. Three and two outs, runner on second here in the second. Fastball turned around and yanked down the line, but it'll be foul.
Yeah, he wants to crank this ball all the way out of the park for sure after we saw with that foul ball.
Yep, he did not missed the heater, although he was out in front. You can see he's choked up on that bat with 2 strikes. Going to try to put something in play. That one low for ball 4. Second walk of the inning for McGee. And with runners on first and second and 2 outs, that'll bring up the right fielder in this one, number 8, Jimmy Larson. Larson batting 8th in this one. And swinging from the left side against the right-hander. Fastball fouled straight back. Disrupted a lot of the butterflies, the ladybugs.
Yeah, they all scattered when that fastball hit our net right in front of us.
Counted about 45 ladybugs on the net before the game.
A couple of them have now moved to our table area now.
Yeah, we got like 4 now.
For safety.
Fastball fouled back once again. Go, 0-2, runners on first and second with 2 outs. Good RBI spot for Larson here. Solano tries to get on the board first. Change up. Fouled straight back. Still 0-2. 2 outs, 2 runners on. Fastball pulled down the line, foul. Making McGee work this inning. This will be the 24th pitch of the inning for McGee. Already 36 pitches to this point. The 0-2. Fastball looks at strike 3. Good spot from McGee as he gets out of the jam, first and second. But Solano comes up short here in the second. We'll head to the bottom of the second. It'll be Coffindaffer, Monday, and Rowan coming up for the Eagles.
Stand by, we're going to go to cut 1. And cut 1. Cross court to Audrey Jones. Audrey for 3. It is good! With 1.3 seconds left on the game clock. Audrey Jones with one of the biggest shots.
The sky's the limit, really, with what we can do here.
College just got affordable. Up to 100% of enrollment fees can be reimbursed for first-time college students taking full-time classes. At Solano Community College, we are taking full advantage of this to further your future. With certificate and degree programs in industrial technology, aeronautics, biotechnology, and many others, Solano Community College is a staple for success. For more information, please contact the Financial Aid Office at 707-864-7000.
Hello everyone, I'm Hannah Pepin. I am one of the side camera operators, and thank you for watching Solano College Sports Network.
All right, we're back as Brendan Coffindaffer, the first baseman, will lead it off for the Eagles. Lingua still on the mound as he takes a big hack at strike 1.
Yeah, Coffindaffer batting just at that 300 mark, and he is third in total on the team with 24 RBIs as Lingua throws his second strike.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see how long Lingua goes in this one. He's only thrown, the most innings he's thrown in a game was 3 back against Los Medanos. Takes a big hack at the curveball, but gets nothing but big air for strike 3. Lingua's first strikeout in this one.
Yeah, first strikeout, and it was a quick one, 1-2-3, and 1 out in the bottom of the second. And let's see if Lingua can carry that momentum over and get 2 more quick outs for the Falcons.
Yeah, Lingua against LMC went 3 innings, 4 hits, only 1 earned run, and had 5 strikeouts in those 3 innings. So he gets another swing and a miss from the center fielder, number 5, Jacob Monday. Monday batting just under the 300 mark at 298. Another curveball buckled him for strike 2. It's been a theme lately. Solano's pitching the last few games. Their curveballs have been on. Looks like Lingua's got the same working in this one. Another one, swing and a miss.
Nice.
6 pitches, 6 strikes so far for Will Lingua. Here's the left fielder, number 6, left-hander, Aiden Rowan. Rowan batting .245 on the year, 21 RBIs. Fastball misses for the first ball, so no immaculate inning for Lingua, although he was on his way.
Yeah, he was lining up Mendocino and just knocking him down quick. 2 strikeouts and a quick 2 outs.
1-0 to Rowan. Fastball right there for strike 1. Lingua looking really solid here in the second so far. Gave up a couple hits in the first, but got the ground ball with 1 out. And Vega and Castrillo turned the double play to get him out of the jam. That one high just over Castrillo's head into the gap. McClenn's going to cut it off, and strong throw in will hold Rowan to first for a 2-out single. So 2 outs and a runner on first. That'll bring up the right fielder, number 17, Tucker Morgan. First pitch, fouled back for strike 1.
Morgan batting just right below that 270 mark, and another Mendocino player that ranks pretty high in RBIs. He has 17 total on the season.
The 0-1, curveball, ground ball, Castrillo flipped to second in time for the 3rd out. Nice inning here from Lingua. Works quickly as he will get his offense back going. As we head to the top of the 3rd, it'll be McClenn, Castrillo, and Vega coming up for the Falcons. So Meach McClenn will lead it off here in the top of the 3rd, batting 9th and starting in left field in this one. First pitch from McGee. High for ball one. McGee with already 3 walks in this one. Had 5 in his last outing. That one yanked outside for ball 2.
Yeah, and unlike what we saw from Lingua in that last inning, I think McGee might be having some command issues as he's 2-0 right now in the count.
Fastball. Can't get the strike, so that'll push the count to 3-0. Never a good thing to walk the 9-hole hitter as Nico Castrillo is on deck. Fastball way outside for ball 4. So McClenn will lead this third off with a walk. And that'll bring up the shortstop, number 1, Nico Castrillo. Castrillo flew out to center. It's just out in front and might have gotten under it as Jacob Monday made a nice running catch in the gap for Mendocino. McClenn, pretty good wheels over there at first. Nico didn't pull back in time, so that'll be ruled strike 1. I think that was a good call from the umpire. A little interesting, Castrillo didn't pull back in time. You rarely see that when someone squares around. So 0-1. That one outside for ball 1. Fastball hit the other way, playable for the right fielder Tucker Morgan out there. So that basically would have been McGee's 7th straight ball. Castrillo reaching up top, and that'll go down as the first out here in the 3rd.
Yeah, and you wonder how long, we're in the top of the 3rd, how long McGee will survive with all the balls he's been throwing. Especially like consistently in a row. I mean, we've had the last couple batters. He's gone 3-0.
Yeah, Vega first pitch swinging at that one. I was just gonna say, I wouldn't be surprised if Vegas looked at the first pitch because McGee had thrown 7 straight balls. We'll see if McGee can figure it out here. That one high. Fastball popped up. Could be playable, and it will be for LaFerriere. He ranges in foul territory to make the out. That'll go down as the 2nd out here in the 3rd. Interestingly, for Solano, their last 10 games, they've only had 1 double-digit run game, and they've had 5 double-digit strikeout games and 7 double-digit flyout games. So that has been a big worry for this offense. A lot of strikeouts and flyouts, which does not help move runners over and eventually score runs, which has been a struggle for the offense lately. They are hitting great. 8 or more hits in every game this month.
Yeah, the hitting, I mean, has been very good for Solano this month, and it's just been consistent, too. It's just, unfortunately, you know, it's sometimes it'll lead just to pop-ups and stuff.
That one low. Jackson walked in his first at-bat and then was caught stealing the end of the 1st. Now 1-1 with 2 outs, and his high school teammate Meech McClenn over there at first base. Fastball got under it. Another pop-up, another playable play for LaFerriere. Sliding catch, he'll make the... No, it'll pop out of the glove and sneak into the dugout. Would have been a fantastic play as he went sliding just in front of the dugout.
Yeah, a bit dangerous, but I mean, he was laying it out on the line, and he actually was fairly close to getting it.
Yeah, it looked like it just snuck out of his glove at the last second. So Bates will stay alive for another opportunity here. 1-2 with 2 outs. See if McGee goes that big looping curve. And he does. Caught the corner for strike 3 as McGee tries to stare down Bates as he walks off the mound. So through the top of the third, we head to the bottom of the third. It'll be Curdy, Whitehead, and LaFerriere coming up for the Eagles.
Cut! I'm Jacob Ebert, and I'm on-set director, main camera operator. Thank you for watching Solano College Sports Network.
Welcome back to the Solano College Sports Network. We are underway for the bottom of the third as second baseman number 2, Wyatt Curdy, will lead it off, batting last for the Eagles. Fastball, swing and a miss. Lingua has been excellent up to this point through 2 innings. Few base hits, couple strikeouts though, and had an 11-pitch second. Only 23 pitches through the first 2 frames for him. That one just a bit outside with the fastball.
Yeah, let's see if Lingua can carry that momentum over and into however long he plays in this game.
Another swing and a miss from Curdy for strike 2. Curdy batting .250 this season. Only 28 at-bats for him. The 1-2, curveball, swing and a miss. Ran up on his hands and was not able to make contact with that one. So first out here in the third, and the third strikeout for Lingua already.
Bit of a weird swing there. I don't know if I used to play. I don't think I would have swung on that. And I was not a great hitter, trust me when I say that. I was outfield for a reason. That was my specialty, hitting. I was last, if not second to last, so.
Looks like they will make another move. This will be number 15, Joey Thomas, as Lingua doesn't get the benefit of the doubt on that first pitch. Fastball gets that one on the outside corner. One and one to Joey Thomas. Fastball way up and out. Joey Thomas went to Vacaville High. Fastball turns on this one. Pretty good contact. It will land in front of Meach. Throw into second, cut off, and not in time before Joey Thomas gets in there safely with a 1-out double.
Big hit into that just little space. It drops at the right moment earns him a double. Well done. Nice hit by number 15, Joey Thomas.
1 out double for Thomas, the 4th hit so far for the Eagles. That'll bring up the speedy catcher, number 25, Derek LaFerriere. LaFerriere had a bunt single. Beautiful place bunt down the third base line. Fastball just up for ball 1. That one catches the corner. Good pitch from Lingua. Puts the count to 1-1. The 1-1. Curveball yanked down the line. It'll get front of Mitra Clan and bounce over. A tough read, and that'll award LaFerriere a stand-up double and an RBI double at that. So back-to-back doubles puts Mendocino on the board first here in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, just about almost identical to that same spot. Kind of meets his area. He just can't get there in time, unfortunately. It was just that kind of right gap area.
Yeah, it looks like that curveball also hung a little bit for Lingua. Tried to backdoor him like he did to Curdy for the strikeout. But LaFerriere read that well and was all over it. So with the runner on second, 1 out, that'll bring in the third baseman, Poe. He's bunting. No, he'll pull back, and LaFerriere was on the move. So he will be awarded the stolen base. That'll go down as his 28th steal on the season.
Yeah, and as you talked about, LaFerriere for a catcher has wheels, but I would say both catchers in this game for both teams, including Mendocini, definitely probably the fastest catchers, no doubt.
Fastball yanked outside for ball 2. So Lingua was rolling through 2 innings. Had the strikeout to start the 3rd, back-to-back doubles. And a stolen base, so now 1 out, runner on 3rd. Poe in a good RBI spot. Fastball into right field. Larson coming in, had a late read, and it'll drop in for an RBI single. So 2 runs have come across here in the 3rd for the Eagles.
Mendocino's dugout getting pretty loud, unlike Solano's, as the broken record narrative here on our broadcast is.
Yeah, good energy for the Eagles. Wish we could say the same for Solano. So 2 runs, runner on first with 1 out. That one just missed outside for ball 1. Villalobos in his last at-bat back in the 1st, ground into that inning-ending double play. I'm sure Lingua would love for the same result right here. Runner's going. Fouled it off and caught the umpire. Home plate umpire going to walk it off, and Mendocino going to go out to the mound, so the umpire will have a little bit of a breather. So 1 out, a runner on, and a 1-1 count to Villalobos here in the bottom of the 3rd. Solano trailing 2-0. High for ball 2.
Yeah, Lingua looks like a little bit out of his groove. He needs to kind of get his composure and bring himself to it and throw how he was throwing a few innings ago to get Solano back into this game and keep him afloat.
Move to first, not in time. Yeah, and we'll see if we get any motion in the bullpen. As I said earlier, Lingua, longest he's thrown is 3 innings against LMC, this being his first start of the year. So we'll see how long they let him go. Ground ball, that'll scoot through right past Castrillo. So 4 straight hits here in the third. Runners on first and second, still 1 out. For the first baseman, number 10, Brendan Coffindaffer. Back-to-back singles from the 3-4 hitters. Fastball outside for ball 1.
Yeah, Mendocino's hitting has definitely been consistent and come alive this inning, and it's been also contagious for everybody who's been stepping up for the Eagles. And hopefully Lingua can put a stop to that here.
Yeah, already 7 hits as this ball is a high fly ball. Bates has room, will make the catch. Runner's going to tag up. That'll be Poe. Looked like Bates was didn't get behind the ball and wasn't expecting a tag right there. Didn't get into the crow hop, so Poe will take third. Now runners on first and third with 2 outs for the center fielder, number 5, Jacob Monday. Lingua already 20 pitches just in this inning. Runners going. Mendocino throw down to second, offline, and the runner will come in to score. And Villalobos will take third base as well. So we knew coming into this game, Mendocino very good on the bases. Solano going to have to be sound defensively, and Lingua knows that. So that'll be the third run to come across here in the bottom of the third. Still a runner on third with Monday up and 2 outs. First pitch was a ball. Second pitch, a ball as well. We knew Mendocino was going to score a lot of runs, so it's going to be up to Solano on the other side of the ball to be able to match. Slow roller, third base. Bare hand to Guzman, can't make the play.
Slipped out his hand at the very last possible second, and Mendocino now puts up their 4th run in this inning and of the game.
So that'll go down as an infield single for Jacob Monday, and that'll bring up the left fielder, number 6, Aiden Rowan. Runners going. Curveball. Mendocino throw down to second. In time, and they got him. So Mendocino guns down Monday at second, but not before. The Eagles put 4 across here in the third. As we head to the top of the 4th, it'll be Austin Mendocino, Zion Judkins, and Eli de Guzman coming up for the Falcons.
Hi everybody, my name is Sincere Rose, and I'm your side camera operator, and I just want to thank you for watching Solano College Sports Network.
But Dad, I love him. I'm going to marry him. I don't care what you say.
Cut. Welcome to TV 55. In this hands-on class at Solano Community College, you'll learn all aspects of television production. Work with high-end cameras in the field and in the studio. Professional sound, lighting, and green screen. And let's not forget editing. Enroll today. Get an art school education at a fraction of the cost. Visit us online at solano.edu.
All right, and welcome back. So we're ready for the top of the fourth. Bill McGee still on the mound. 50 pitches through 3 scoreless innings for him. Solano has their work cut out here in the fourth, already down 4-0. Fastball, low for ball 1. Mendocino will lead it off for the Falcons. Grounded out to short in his first at-bat, back in the second. That one high for ball 2.
Yeah, hopefully Mendocino can get it going for the Falcons, and just like Mendocino's bats were contagious, hopefully Solano's can start getting there too.
He goes at the high fastball. This one is going to eat up McGee on the mound. So that'll go down as the E1. Mendocino leads it off with a runner on first for the DH left-hander, number 28, Zion Judkins. First pitch to Z. Catches the corner for strike 1. Good spot from McGee. Fastball catches the corner. So he worked the fastball outside and then paints the inside for strike 2. Usually Judkins a free swinger. We'll see where McGee goes 0-2. Off speed in the dirt.
Yeah, usually Zion is taking rips, and it's kind of uncharacteristic of him to not really swing at anything yet. But he's down 1-2, so we'll see what he does on this pitch here.
That one hot.
High for ball 2. Good eye by Zion. 2-2 in the count. It's up. And out. First out for Mendocino. So Mendocino's still on base, and Eli de Guzma will come up to bat for the Falcons.
Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. All right. Eli de Guzman with 1 out. Runner on first now. Eli is that one. Fly ball. Center field. Monday will make the catch for the second out. Another fly ball for Solano.
So we talk about Solano's weakness. They do hit a lot, but unfortunately most of the time it is those pop-ups that usually lead to outs.
Yeah, they're getting under the ball a lot and striking out, as I said back in the second. Not a recipe for success offensively. High fastball. And surprising that Solano still searching for their first hit in this one. McGee, a little wild command, a few walks so far. That one right there. No, low for ball 1. Ball 2, excuse me. Surprised Pridey didn't take a hack at that one, and even more surprised that one didn't go for a strike. You can see McGee a little frustrated, walking around the mound.
I was going to get ready to say, I think Pridey just literally pulled back at the right moment, because I agree. I thought that should have been a striker. He would have took a swing at it.
That one just a bit lower than the one before, so 3-0 now to Pridey. Pridey walked in his last at bat. Now 3-0 with Larson on deck. That one catches the corner. That one turned down the line. It is way gone. A shot from Jason Pridey as he turned all over the fastball. And it'll be a 2-run homer as Solano inches closer here in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, an absolute dinger by Pridey, and he helps put Solano on the board with 2 runs. And hopefully that'll get Solano's confidence going, and hopefully those bats will start to wake up a bit as well.
So the first hit of the game for Jason Pridey as he put Solano on the board. Now trailing 4-2. With 2 outs, that'll bring up the right fielder, number 8, Jimmy Larson. Pridey's second home run on the season. And coming into this one, his last 10 games, also all games in the month of April, he's batting .400. That'll be his 13th hit and his 9th RBI. Also 9 walks on the season, or in the last 10 games as well. One and one to Jimmy. That one upstairs for ball 2. Yeah, we'll see if Solano can have an offensive resurgence right here. They saw the Eagles go up 4 runs as that one is a shot. Curtis, nice play. Backhand throw on to first just in time for out number 3, but not before Pridey puts the Falcons on the board. As we head to the bottom of the 4th, it'll be Rowan, Morgan, and Curdy coming up for the Eagles.
Hi, I'm Anna Patero, Communication Studies Professor and Fairfield Sassoon Unified School District Governing Board Member.
All right, and we're back for the bottom of the 4th. Will Linguist still on the mound. Few runs through 3 innings so far. Was cruising through 2 innings and started off the 3rd with a strikeout, but then gave up 5 hits, 2 doubles, and 3 singles. There's a bunt, and it will go foul. First strike of the inning to the left fielder, Aiden Rowan.
Yeah, it looked like Lingwood just kind of was losing control a bit, and his confidence probably took a little bit of a downward spiral. But, you know, after that Pridey home run, that should kind of give the whole team, offense and defense, a little bit more life, and hopefully Lingwood can hang in there and Solano's offense can pick up the pace and get a couple more runs on the board.
Curveball stays up. Rowan was up in the last inning before Monday was gunned down at second from Mendocino behind the dish. Fastball, too low for ball 2. Aiden Rowan, one of 5 players from Reno for Mendocino. Two balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out here. Curveball. This one might get down. It will. Castrillo with a Hercules effort in short left field. But it will drop for a leadoff single for Aiden Rowan.
Almost that kind of same gap they were hitting at a few innings ago, where they were getting a lot of their singles and doubles, kind of in that area where Zion is.
Here's the right fielder for the Eagles, number 17, Tucker Morgan. He's got a runner at first. Pops this one up, but it will be out of play. Oh, 0-1 to Morgan. He grounded out to second to end the second. Bunt. It'll roll foul. That one high. Mendocino fakes the back pick. So 1-2 to Morgan. The 1-2. Curveball. He just got a piece of it. So Morgan will stay alive. Would have been Lingua's 4th strikeout up to this point.
Lingua looking to get hit the first out for the Falcons of this inning.
Fastball yanked. Mendocino throw to first, not in time. Saw Mendocino eyeing Rowan down there at first a couple times. He knows that the Eagles are prone to stealing bases and trying to advance every base they can get.
Yeah, even if Mendocino thinks it, even if it's the slightest chance, he'll still take the chance to try to gun somebody down, especially with a team like Mendocino who can just steal whenever they practically want.
Curveball again in the dirt. Picked by Austin behind the dish. Yeah, a little bit of an unorthodox style of play for Mendocino. A lost art with the small ball. We've seen a few bunts and a lot of steals. The game has mostly moved to strikeouts and homers and gotten away from a lot of the small ball. Runners going, ground ball. It'll just roll foul. Would have been extra bases, and Rowan would have come around to score easily if that one had snuck fair. Count remains full. This will be the 70th pitch for Lingua up in this outing. And it looks like Richard Mealy will get warm down in the bullpen. Mealy was fantastic in his last performance. Move to first. Not in time.
Lingo's definitely keeping an eye, though, on that base runner for sure.
Rowan going again. Fastball, ground ball. De Guzman can't make the play. Runner's going to steal. He's going to round second and go to third in time. Good heads-up awareness from Rowan. So now runners on first and third with nobody out here in the fourth for Wyatt Curdy. Curdy playing second in this one. He squares around. Fastball high. We'll see how long of a leash Coach Stover will have for Lingo out there on the mound. Gets the bunt, and it'll roll foul.
No outs yet for the Falcons. Lingua can get this out. Maybe it'll kind of stop the slump that's been going on. Get a little momentum on his side and the Falcons.
Time called from Curdy. Yeah, I'm sure Lingua looking for a ground ball. Solano definitely trade 2 outs for a run in this situation. With nobody out, runners on first and third. Curdy can't get that one down, so he's got 2 strikes on him now, 1 and 2. This is a big strikeout opportunity with nobody out. Curdy struck out in his last at-bat on a backdoor curveball. We'll see where Lingua goes here. High fastball. Lingua has 75 pitches now. Still looking for his first out. Curveball. Can't get the call. That'll push the count to full. Three and two. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to say this is big for Lingua. Like you said, 3-2 the count.
Fouled off. Curdy will stay alive. Making Lingua work really hard in this one. In this inning, at least. Back-to-back 7-pitch at-bats for Morgan and Curdy. Lingua looking for a strikeout or a ground ball here. Fastball, chopper to third. They're going to come home with it. Mendocino will tag him out for the first out. Good heads-up play from De Guzman out at the hot corner. So they'll prevent the run. And now 1 out with runners on first and second as the lineup will get flipped over for number 15, Joey Thomas, who's DHing in this one.
Yeah, good heads-up play by De Guzman. We've already seen him with a couple little error mishaps where they could have probably been outs. But he recovered nicely with that one and gave Solano the first out to kind of stop this little bit of bleeding that's been going on this inning.
Runners going. Thomas was swinging, and he'll foul that one back, so Morgan will head back to second. Yeah, this is a big opportunity for Solano to get out of this jam unscathed after their offense just put up 2 runs. Don't want to let this one get out of hand early. Oh, and 1 to Thomas. 1 out, runners on first and second. Fastball, fouled off. Thomas doubled and came around to score the first run of the game in his last at-bat, back in the third. Sort of just poked one down the line. Morgan, big lead at second. Curveball, he's going. Mendocino, throw down to third, will be far too late. So you can see it, Mendocino just on edge all the time and quick to advance the extra base on any type of mistake. Solano not very sound defensively up to this point. Couple of errors and miscues. Thomas down the count 1 and 2. He gets a hold of this one. Deep center field. Bates ranging back. He won't have a play on it. He'll play it off the bounce. This will score 2. Thomas's second double in his second at bat. This time a 2 RBI double. That'll put Mendocino back out ahead, up by 4, 6-2.
Big hit right there, and now Solano's hole's been dug a little bit further and a little bigger. We'll see what they can do to get out of this. Only 1 out in this inning, and Mendocino's bats and base stealing has been up to par as of late.
Here's the catcher for the Eagles. He doubled as well and came around to score. 2 for 2 to this point. One and 0 to LaFerriere. Fastball yanked, hit well, left field. Meach will make a nice catch before crashing into the wall for the second out. A couple of really hard hit balls for the top of this order, as they have done that all game so far, although we are just in the 4th inning. Top of the order has been very successful. Ferrier flies out right there, but had a single and a double, and the 1-hole slot has a single and 2 doubles. That'll bring up the third baseman in the 3-hole, number 27, Shane Poe. Fastball catches the outside corner for strike 1. Seems like the first well-located fastball from Lingua since really the first 2 innings. He's had a lot of stuff over the plate, and Mendocino has made him pay for it so far. Already up to double-digit hits through just 3 2/3. Popped up, playable for Larson. And he will make the catch for the third out, but not before the Eagles scratch 2 more across on a 2 RBI double from Joey Thomas. As we head to the top of the 5th, it'll be McClenn, Castrillo, and Vega coming up for the Falcons.
Hi, I'm Anna Patero, Communication Studies Professor and Fairfield Sassoon Unified School District Governing Board Member, Trustee Area 6. Thank you for watching Solano College Sports Network, where it's more than just sports, it's an education.
All right, and we're back for the top of the 5th as Meech McClenn will lead it off for the Falcons. Bill McGee still on the mound, pitching well. Only has suffered one hit up to this point, and that was a 2-run shot down the line from Jason Pridey, a tape measure shot at that. An absolute no-doubter. First pitch, high for ball 1 to Solano's left fielder. Meech walked in his last at-bat and was held up there as he led off the 3rd inning as well. Takes a big hack at the fastball. Comes up short. This will be the 70th pitch of the outing for McGee. Big looping curve. Doesn't get the call. McGee with plenty of moxie out there on the mound. Maybe wearing his emotions on his sleeves a little too much. The 2-1 to Meech. Up and out for ball 3.
Yeah, and just like with Lingua, we saw Solano had a pitcher warming up in the bullpen. It doesn't look like Mendocino's got one, so we'll see if McGee gets kept as he walks McLean. And
ball 4 right there, and McGee not happy about that one.
Yeah, it looks like those emotions are starting to kind of get to him a little bit. And we'll see how long Mendocino decides to keep him in for.
Yeah, that's the 5th walk so far for McGee. Matches his total from his last outing. That one high for ball 1 to the shortstop, Nico Castrillo. Couple of flyouts so far up to this point. Like the rest of the team, only 2 ground outs so far and just the 1 hit from Pridey. This one will get down. So the 2nd hit for the Falcons so far, a single. So now runners on 1st and 2nd and no outs for the 2nd baseman, number 4, Victor Vega. Castrillo stays hot. He's been as consistent as it gets all season. Castrillo came into this one batting .470 on the year and .413 in conference play. Vega gets the bunt down. 3rd baseman Poe going to have to make a strong throw, and he will. But good sacrifice bunt right there from Vega. Sets up 2nd and 3rd with just 1 out for the 3-hole hitter and the center fielder for the Falcons, number 15, Jackson Bates.
Yeah, Vega, a very smart and a good bunt, which we've seen Solano kind of struggle with the bunt a lot this year. So good to see that go down for them. And now, like you said, both runners advanced 90 feet and are in very good scoring position for Mr. Bates here.
Jackson's been raking in the last 2 months, batting over 300 in both those months. As he pops this one up, LaFerriere or Poe. Poe will make the catch for the 2nd out, so unproductive at bat for Bates. Now 2 outs for the 4-hole hitter, the catcher, number 9, Austin Mendocino.
In a way, it's like the Falcons are kind of getting a do-over if they need a big hit or just a solid hit in general, as Bates and Mendocino are the 1-2 punch for the Falcons when it comes to hitting.
Yeah, already 8 flyouts up to this point. One of the struggles they've been dealing with this month. This will be the 6th game where they have double-digit flyouts in their last 11 games. One to 0 to Mendocino. McGee trying to work out another jam that he's put himself into. Mendocino goes around. Couldn't make up his mind as he swings at the high fastball. So 1-1 to Austin. 2 outs and 2 runners in scoring position for an RBI machine. Looping curve stays upstairs for ball 2. Mendocino leads the team with 25 RBIs in conference play, and in second place behind him, Jackson Bates with 19. Fastball, good discipline right there to leave that one high.
Kind of thought about it for a second, and he, in a good way, hesitated at the last second, and very smart and a good eye by Mendocino. Now he has a favorable count at 3-1.
Yeah, and we'll see Solano sort of recognizes the exorbitant amount of high fastballs from McGee so far. Fastball right down the middle.
That one unfortunately wasn't high.
Yeah, I'm sure Mendocino wants that one back.
Yeah.
3-1, that's got to be the pitch. Not sure what he was looking for in that count. So now the count is full. Yanked. This one high fly ball, left center field. Monday will make the running catch before he scales the wall. Couple of really nice running catches from Monday out there in center as he nabs Mendocino from extra bases, and a couple runs batted in. As we head to the bottom of the 5th, it'll be Villalobos, Coffindaffer, Monday coming up next.
Hi, I'm Dr. Celia Esposito Noy. Thanks for watching the Solano College Sports Network.
College just got affordable. Up to 100% of enrollment fees can be reimbursed for first-time college students taking full-time classes. At Solano Community College, we are taking full advantage of this to further your future. With certificate and degree programs in industrial technology, aeronautics, biotechnology, and many others, Solano Community College is a staple for success. For more information, please contact the Financial Aid Office at 707-864-7000.
All right, we're back here on the Solano College Sports Network. New arm for the Falcons. It's the right-hander, number 21, Richard Mealy. Mealy was amazing in his last outing. Richie went against Laney. The first broadcast against Laney that we had through a complete game, went 9 innings, only 3 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. Did give up 11 hits, but did a great job of working out of a lot of jams as Solano took home a 5-4 win in that one. And a lot of that was thanks to Mealy on the mound.
Yeah, all in all, a good, hard-fought victory for Mealy. Throws the ball right there, but like you said in the past broadcast that we had during this game, he pitched phenomenal through those 9 innings.
So Villalobos will lead it off here, shortstop, as he looks at ball 3. 1 for 2 to this point. He had a RBI single back into third. and ended up coming across to score the 4th run for the Eagles. As he looks at ball 4, so leadoff walk for Mealy. Uncharacteristic of Richie.
Yeah, definitely not the best start for him, but I'm sure he'll kind of get his composure together and focus, and he'll be good to go.
Yeah, just his 13th walk of the season through over 50 innings of work. He's been really solid at throwing strikes all year. So I'll bring up the first baseman, Brendan Coffindaffer, 0 for 2 to this point with a strikeout and a flyout. Fastball right there for strike 1. Fastball catches the corner for strike 2. Couple well-located fastballs from Mealy to start off Coffindaffer here. Fastball down the line. Larson running, won't be able to make the play as that one is well foul. So Mealy, normally a starter, but comes in relief in this one. Might have a couple of innings of work ahead of him. But of the starter, has the lowest ERA on the season with the 4.94 now. Only pitcher with a better ERA is the closer, Josh Petrel, who has been dominant this season with a sub-3 ERA and a sub-2 ERA in conference play. Check swing, they appeal, but they will say he held up in time for the first ball. 1-2 now to Coffindaffer. Fastball popped him up, but out of play. Brendan doing a good job of fighting, not going down. One and two, runner on first. Mendocino up 6-2 up to this point here in the bottom of the 5th. Curveball, swing and a miss, got him. Finally sends down the Eagles' first baseman for the first out here in the 5th.
Yeah, good composure kept by the Falcons, and let's see if Falcons can get 2 more quick outs and get those bats going in the next inning.
Here's the center fielder for the Eagles making a couple of nice running catches on the other side of the ball defensively. That one blistered right center field. Bates on his horse, running back over his head. He won't make the play. Good read from Villalobos. He's rounding third, coming home. Vega, great throw home. No, offline. And Mendocino can't make the catch. It looked good and then sort of tailed towards the first base side of home plate, and Mendocino was trying to make the tag before he had secured the ball, resultantly popping out of his glove, and Villalobos will come around to score, as that'll go down as a double and a fielder's choice for Jacob Monday.
Yeah, good hit by Monday, and Mendocino, I think, is probably being a little hard on himself, but I mean, the ball did, as it was coming towards our way, look good, and it just curved at the last second, like you said, toward the first base side.
So here's Rowan. Rowan 2 for 2 up to this point with a couple of singles. And in a good RBI spot right here with Monday at third base and only 1 out. Mealy looking for the strikeout. Fastball just missed. Really tight zone so far we've seen up to this point. Fastball popped up. Playable. Castrillo running back. He will make the catch. Nice running play as he had to range back into short left field for the second out. Big out right there as Rowan goes down, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Tucker Morgan. 0 for 2 to this point, but came around to score after the error at third base. First pitch, ball 1. Fastball, swing and a miss. Morgan batting .268 on the year. Fastball, this one will get down in front of Bates. Another RBI single. That'll bring home the 8th run of the ballgame for the Eagles.
Yeah, Mendocino's got those bats working again as they have in the last couple games. The last 2 games combined for 22 runs, and they're at 8 right now, and we still have about 3-4 innings left.
Yeah, right around the halfway mark up to this point. Fastball outside, ball 1 to Wyatt Curdy. Curdy 0 for 2, but came around to score in the 4th. Had that ground ball, which de Guzman came home with. Foul tipped right there for strike 1. We knew Mendocino was going to come out strong offensively. It was just whether or not Solano could either try to hold them as much as possible or match them on offensively as well. Up to this point, all the offense has been Jason Pridey with that 2-run homer. Too bad you don't get bonus points for hitting the ball farther than the distance needed to travel, or else this one might be closer.
At least double points, yeah.
Yeah.
Be closer. Yeah, I agree. I kind of thought, I'm kind of in the same boat with you. I kind of thought Solano would kind of just match them offense for offense, but unfortunately we haven't seen that except for, like you just talked about, Pridey's home run.
2-1 to Curdy, runner on first. Fastball high for ball 3. So Mealy a walk and a couple hits and a couple runs up to this point here in the 5th. Move to first, not in time. 3-1 to Curdy, and Joey Thomas on deck at the top of the order. Curdy trying to flip it over. Fastball right there for strike 2. Three-two, 2 outs. Runner at first will be on the move. Not before a move over to first. Morgan over there at first. Mealy eyeing him. He's on the move. Fastball swing and a miss. Got him. Strike 3 as Curdy goes down. Mealy's second strikeout here in the 5th, but not before the Eagles scratch 2 more across as they lead 8-2, and we head to the top of the 6th. It'll be Judkins, de Guzman, and Pridey coming up next.
Everyone, welcome to another episode of On Campus here at Solano Community College with the Solano College Sports Network. My name is Garrett Lamoijo. With me today is my guest, Cameron Anderson. So, Cameron, you're part of the sports broadcasting class, right?
Yes, I am.
So, tell me, what's that like for you?
It's been great. I've had a lot of fun with it. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it so much. I knew that sports broadcasting sounded like it was kind of up my alley, and I would get into it because I just watch so much sports all the time. And yeah, I've been having a great time.
All right, we are back. Ready for the sixth. Sorry, music was still playing. So Judkins will lead it off here in the top of the sixth. Bill McGee's still on the mound for the Eagles, only surrendered 2 runs and just that 2-run shot. Judkins swinging at the high fastball. I want to say McGee, about 35% of his pitches have been that high fastball, and he hasn't thrown one of them for a strike. It's just been Solano reaching at it. Maybe the lack of a scouting report. That one down the line, and it was a high fastball. Judkins rounds first. He'll dig for second. Right fielder fell down. Judkins in there with a hustle double. That one scooted just down the line past the diving first baseman Coffindaffer for a double.
Yeah, nice hit by Zion, like you just said, right down that line and picks up a double. Now let's see if De Guzman can pick up where Zion left off and everybody can start to get their hitting in motion.
Now, we've seen some big innings from Solano. They've had some 8-run innings before here on the Solano College Sports Network at home. So that fastball's high for ball 1.
Oh, yeah, nothing's definitely out of the cards. I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, we've seen 8, 9-run innings, and they're only down 6. 7 takes the lead, so, I mean, that is possible with quite a bit of time still left in this one.
We'll see if Mendocino starts getting some action in the bullpen as De Guzman cranks this one dead center. Monday ranging back. He'll make the catch. Judkins tagging up, and he will take third base on the deep fly ball from De Guzman. Just under that one. Was looking for his first jack of the season, but he'll have to wait another at-bat. So here is the offense so far in this one. Number 17, first baseman Jason Pridey, came into this one red hot in his last 10 games with 12 hits, batting 407 RBIs. He has 9 walks and 9 RBIs now. And his 13th hit this month was a 2-run shot down the line. That one high for ball 1.
Who says number 13's always unlucky?
Yeah, been lucky for Pridey this month. 1-0 to Jason. Fastball right there, just missed it. Fouled back.
Yeah, I'm sure Pridey will like to repeat that 2-hit homer. He can do that here with Judkins on third.
McGee up to 90 pitches now. Curveball way up for ball 2.
Bit surprising with that pitch count being so high. Like you just said, in the 90s, they don't. Mendocino has not had anyone warm up in the bullpen up until this point, and they currently don't now. So we'll see how long they ride with McGee.
Pridey popped this one up. Curdy ranging back. He'll make the catch. Judkins going to tag up, throw home, not in time. Zion showing off the speed, and it looks like he dove in awkwardly on his knee. Hopefully he'll be all right. He pops up and will jog it off. Might have scraped his knee on the dirt right there. Didn't think Judkins was going to have enough room to tag up and score, but because Curdy was backpedaling, didn't have any of his momentum coming forward, so it was a tough throw from the second baseman, who's normally has the weakest arm in the infield. So good heads-up base running from Judkins right there. Brings home the third run for the Falcons. And with 2 outs, Jimmy Larson will come up.
Yeah, and hopefully, like we just saw, hopefully Zion is okay. Kind of slid in kind of awkwardly, and looked like his knee was in a bit of pain as he limped off. But he put Solano on the board for their 3rd run.
Larson, another pop-up from Solano. This time the left fielder will range over and make the catch for the 3rd out. But not before Judkins comes in off the leadoff double and comes around to score from Pridey's sac fly. As we head to the bottom of the 6th, it'll be the top of the order. Thomas, LaFerriere, and Poe coming up for the Eagles. All right, and welcome back to the Solano College Sports Network as we are underway for the bottom of the 6th inning. Richard Mealy still on the mound through 1 inning of work. Surrendered a couple runs, but also had a couple of strikeouts as he will face the DH. 2 for 2 up to this point with a couple of doubles. Joey Thomas. Fastball, too high for ball 1. Haven't seen a lot of those high fastballs called for strikes up to this point. It's been going both ways. A consistently small zone, which is all right as long as it goes both ways. And it looks like a ball's on the field. Galindo down there in the bullpen warming up. Still no movement for Mendocino's bullpen. Looks like they're just going to let McGee go out in the next inning.
Yeah, very surprising by that, but it's been dead silent in that bullpen for Mendocino. And I believe, as you said earlier, Thomas is from Vacaville.
Yep.
Oh, and that
As
hit
he
him.
gets drilled on the elbow. So he will walk down to first.
I was going to say before you got hit right there. Vacaville's program has been phenomenal. They've definitely produced a lot of good players from that high school, and they've kind of all scattered all over the place. But still, even to this day, still making some good players with a very tough discipline program down there.
Yep, Austin Menacini, one of the members who came out of Vacaville High. A couple of other guys, Ethan Lamb and Colby Ferdig, who had to step away before the season, go due to work. LaFerriere drives this one into right center. That'll be a single, and that'll advance Thomas out to third. So the top of the order has been lethal as they have Thomas has reached in all 3 at-bats and all 4 at-bats from the leadoff spot as Jaquez led it off with a single to start the game. LaFerriere has gotten on base 3 times. He's now 3 for 4. And Shane Poe has a single and a run. So the top of the order has done a lot of the damage so far. And they're knocking on the door for even more here with no outs and runners on first and third. after that LaFerriere single. Runners going. Fouled back for strike one.
The last time these two teams met was on March 10th. Solano actually won that in the pre-conference tournament 9-8, and Mendocino is already up to 8 runs with base runners on third and first, and still a couple more innings left in this game.
This one hit to right center. Bates running back. He won't have a play. It'll drop into the gap. Poe rounding second. He's digging for 3. And LaFerriere will come in standing up. A 2 RBI triple for Shane Poe, as the Eagles are up to double digits now.
Dugout loud and lively compared to Solano's Crickets in their dugout, but they are in a bit of a hole.
Yeah, Mendocino now up 10-3. Still nobody out after that 2 RBI triple from Poe. His second hit in this one, as that'll bring up the shortstop, Adrian Villalobos. Off speed, stays up for ball 1. And unless Mealy gets in another game this season, this could be his last college outing of his career, as he has said he will be not returning next year and going to work for his dad's company in the future. Although he did have one of the more successful seasons for the Solano pitching staff. That one outside, now 2-1 to Villalobos.
A little emotional right there for Mealy.
Yeah, you can see he's a little frustrated on the mound. The Mendocino offense has been hitting the ball very well so far. A lot of hard contact, making the outfielders run a lot, getting their cardio in. The 3-1 fouled back. That'll push the count full.
Still no outs in this one, and the Eagles have a base runner on third, so Mealy for sure is thinking probably I need to get this strike and stop the bleeding. If not, this could be a long inning for the Falcons.
That one fouled back again from Villalobos. And Villalobos, one of the top RBI hitters on the team, right behind Shane Poe coming into this one with 30.
Yeah, two guys combined for almost 65 RBIs on the team, and that's just between two guys. That is phenomenal.
That one upstairs, Mealy upset. We've seen this from both pitchers so far. Lingwood not very vocal and emotional about what's going on with the officiating, but clearly upset. Thought he had that one. Would have been strike 3. Instead, now first and third, still nobody out for Brandon Coffindaffer. 0 for 3 with a couple strikeouts up to this point. He pops up. De Guzman ranging in foul territory. He will not make the play. And looks like he actually got hit by that, and looks like he'll be all right.
Yeah, he looks okay.
So that would go down as the first strike to Coffindaffer. The 0-1 curveball stays up. The 1-1 fouled back. Two strikes on Coffindaffer. in danger of the hat trick. Already 2 strikeouts up to this point. Mealy trying to sit him down with no outs here. Fastball popped up once again. Larson having to shade the sun out of his eyes. And runner will not tag up. So Larson's strong throw home will hold Poe at third with 1 out.
Good fielding by Larson. Started to block out the sun before the ball was coming down. A smart move and able to get the catch and get Solano's first out to kind of stop the momentum for Mendocino by just a bit. But for the most part, this has been Mendocino's game with the momentum firmly on their side.
Here's Monday, 2 for 3 up to this point with a single and a double. Slider gets in there for strike 1. Monday had an RBI double and then came across to score back in the 5th. That one way outside for ball 1. Mealy looking for that ground ball with runners on first and third and 1 out. We saw Castrillo and Vega roll one back in the first. That's been the only double play so far. Fastball, right center. Larson ranging over. It'll be Bates. He calls him off. Runner will tag and score easily. Jackson, strong throw into Vega. So a sac fly and an RBI for Jacob Monday, his second RBI in this one. And that'll score Shane Poe from third base, who was stranded there for a little bit. He will eventually come home to score the 11th run of the ballgame so far for the Eagles.
Yeah, and I think it's safe to say from the past 2 games against Contra Costa, Mendocino's offense hasn't slowed down a bit, as now in the last 3 games they have combined for 33 total runs.
Yeah, they have been really good offensively. Sound like a broken record every time we say it, but
yeah.
Off speed outside for ball 1 to Aiden Rowan. This will be his 3rd at bat in 3 innings. So that one's fouled back and knocks over a lot of ladybugs. Not very nice of Rowan.
About 4 of them flew at our table. Yeah.
Like 30 ladybugs that just came flying off. It's not very generous. Curveball. Tried to backdoor him. Couldn't get it. And before the game, all these ladybugs thought it was going to be a sign of good luck, but so far has not been that case. Mendocino's been all over the scoreboard so far as Mealy gets Rowan to swing and miss at the high fastball.
Yeah, especially after they just got the net where they all were hit and they flew everywhere. They're probably a little PO'd, I would assume.
Yeah. 2-2, 2 outs. Curveball right down the middle for strike 3 looking. Mealy walks on the mound in frustration after 3 runs come across in the 6th. We head to the top of the 7th. It'll be McClenn, Castrillo, and Vega coming up for the Falcons. All right, and we're back for the top of the 7th. Bill McGee still on the mound up to this point. Only surrendered 3 runs and just 3 hits as McClenn looks at strike 1.
I apologize for sounding like a broken record, but also, too, still no life in that Mendocino bullpen. So we may see McGee the rest of the game as he throws a wide ball right there to Zion, and Judkins looking at a 1-1 right now.
McClenn, wait.
Oh, excuse me, McClenn, I'm sorry.
Fastball, again, same location outside for ball 2. 2-1 to Meach. Couple of walks up to this point. Two and one to Meach. Fastball, swing and a miss. Would have been ball 3. Now 2-2. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. So McClenn strikes out to start off here in the 7th. McGee's 3rd strikeout to this point. 5 walks and a couple of hits, both extra base hits. The Judkins double and that 2-run homer from Pridey. So here's Castrillo. 3 hits. Castrillo had that single in his last at-bat. Looks at ball 1. Fastball right there. This will be the 108th pitch from McGee. That one's fouled back for strike 2. And yeah, still no movement down in the bullpen. So McGee must have a rubber arm out there. We saw that in one of our broadcasts. Pitcher ended up throwing over 130 pitches.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Curveball way high for ball 2. Now 2-2 to Nico.
But I mean, it looks like they're gonna stick with him, even though he's well over 100 now. I mean, no one in the bullpen for him.
Fastball. This one will get down in front of Monday. Castrillo's 2nd hit and his 2nd single in this one. Now 2 for 4. So Nico, as consistent as it gets his 2 knocks in this one. As he's been batting just under 500. Looks like Coach Stover will make a substitution here. Pinch hitter number 3 will come in for Victor Vega at 2nd, and that's Chasen Love. You wonder if maybe they're going to bring in a position player, so they don't want to bring someone out and go to the bullpen. And actually, no, it looks like they're going to finally get someone warm down there. Only took 110 pitches.
Yeah, they must have heard us consistently talk about it as well. And that looks like getting ready to warm up in the bullpen will be number 23, Tyler Linnell.
Another fastball high. 2-0 now. It's been interesting so far. Solano sort of bailing out McGee. He has 5 walks up to this point, but he might have a couple more if Solano were more disciplined at the plate. Swinging at a lot of pitches outside the zone and popping them up. And speaking of pop-ups, there's a pop-up to the first baseman in foul territory for the first out here in the 7th. For the 2nd out here in the 7th, excuse me.
Yeah, just to your point, like you were just talking about, Cam, I have no problem with, guys kind of taking chops and every once in a while, but I feel like Solano's done that maybe a little more than they need to or should have today.
Yeah, definitely. And early I was saying they've had 7 double-digit flyout games, and up to this point, 13 of their 20 outs have been flyouts or pop-outs with 3 strikeouts. So do the math, that's 16 of their 20 outs have been basically unproductive as Bates swings through that one. Only 4 ground outs. Hard to move runners over. They've had plenty of runners on with 4 hits and 5 walks. Only 3 runs pushed across, though. 2-1 now to Bates with 2 outs. Jackson 0 for 2 with a walk. A lot of power in this bat. Fastball upstairs. Swings through another high fastball. Would have been ball 4. Now it's a full count with 2 outs. Runner on first. Castrillo will be on the move with the pitch. McGee trying to get through 7. Fastball right there. Strike 3. He does. Fantastic performance from Bill McGee, and it might have been his last pitch of his outing as he's up by 115 pitches through 7 innings. As we go to the bottom of the 7th, it'll be Tucker Morgan, Wyatt Curdy, and Joey Thomas coming up for the Eagles. We're back for the bottom of the 7th. Richard Mealy still on the mound through 2 innings of work. 5 runs up to this point. A lot of knocks for this potent Eagles offense. As first pitch, ground ball right to Mealy. Easiest play of the night for him, or the day, I should say. So 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 7th. Tucker Morgan goes down easily, as that'll bring up the second baseman, number 2, Wyatt Curdy. Curdy 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts to this point. And that one drills him. Second hit by pitch so far from Richie.
Probably not how he wanted to start that batter off, but either way, what's done is done, and you have a base runner on with 1 out. So Mealy now just going to need to keep that composure together and keep those emotions in check and try to get the Falcons through this game.
with that hit by pitch. Now runner on first and one out for the top of the order. It'll be number 15, Joey Thomas. He's 2 for 2 with 2 doubles and a hit by pitch in his last at bat. So he's reached all 3 times and come around to score twice. That one yanked outside. Ball 1. We'll see how long Mealy goes in this one. Can sense the frustration from him on the mound, even just coming out for this inning. That one outside as well.
Yeah, there's some anger in those eyes, as you can tell. He kind of looks in our direction. He just looks like he is definitely mad, and he needs to just keep those emotions in check and try to finish out until he gets pulled.
2-0 popped up, out of play for strike 1. First 3 hitters have accounted for 6 of their 11 runs so far, as Mealy gets a good curveball over for strike 2. Let's come back in the count now, 2-2. 1 out and a runner on first. Trying to retire Thomas. The 2-2 runner's going. High fly ball. McClenn, plenty of room. He'll make the catch for the second out. As it looks like now I'm looking, there's a couple of defensive substitutions in the infield for Solano. We saw Chasen Love come in at second for Victor Vega. And it looks like Nico Castrillo will come out. Betty Peluso Burns will replace him at short. And De Guzman will come out as well. And Michael Vena will come in to play the hot corner at third base. First pitch to LaFerriere is a curveball over for strike 1. Oh and 1. Curdy at first. Breaking ball almost clipped LaFerriere, but ran inside for ball 1.
Mendocino's bullpen has some life now, as Mealy throws a ball right there for ball 2, but it looks like that's number 9, Cole Killian, warming up in the Mendocino pen.
Swing and a miss at the high fastball. Looks like, Mendocino's had a couple of arms warming up now. So 2-2 to the Eagles catcher, who is 3 for 4 up to this point. Couple of singles and a double, and a couple of steals as well. Speaking of steals, Curdy on the move, but that one fouled back.
Yeah, well, we know Mendocino's going to try to advance 90 feet in any way possible, as they've shown in this game, and their stats show as well. One of the better teams at stealing bases, and they've been putting that on full display today against the Solano team.
Curveball fouled down the third base line, out in front on that one. Mealy at 61 pitches now through 2 2/3 innings. 2-2 count, runner on second with 2 outs. Fastball, swing and a miss. He actually tipped it. Mendocino couldn't hold on. Dropped at the last second, would have been strike 3. Instead, Derek will thank his lucky stars and see another day. So still 2-2. Curdy may be on the move. He's not. Fastball, ground ball, chopper over the head of both Vena and Burns. And Curdy will come in to third base, as it was vacated due to both Infielders on the left side of the diamond trying to make a play at the ball. Mendocino's done that a few times now.
Yeah, just an unfortunate sequence for the Solano infield as it goes over not one but a second defender's head into the outfield and puts a base runner on third and first for the Eagles with Shane Poe up to the plate now.
Poe 2 for 4 with that triple in his last at-bat. Mendocino with a couple of fakes but no throw. First pitch was a ball. Poe with 3 RBIs up to this point. Fastball, ground ball. Vena makes a nice play. Throw over to first in time for the third out. So Mealy works out of the jam unscathed here in the 7th as we head to the top of the 8th. It'll be Mendocino, Judkins, and de Guzman coming up for your Falcons. Welcome back to the Solano College Sports Network as we are ready for the top of the 8th. Austin Mendocino will lead it off for the Falcons as Bill McGee, starting pitcher, through 7 innings, still back out there to start this one as the first pitch is low for ball 1. This next pitch will be his 120th pitch of the game. So an absolute rubber arm for McGee out there. And there is movement down the pen with the 8-run lead. They're going to keep him out there. This one headed to the gap. Monday will range back and make the catch for the first out. So quick work for Mendocino.
Yeah, McGee in that 120 pitch range, and they have a very comfortable lead with 8 runs. Coach is going out there now. They might make the change. I was just getting ready to say if they were ever gonna yank him.
Weird that they let him start the inning. I mean, if you're just gonna let him get one out.
Yeah, that.
Not quite sure what the reason for that was, but nonetheless, McGee's gonna hug all of his infielders.
Broke a record maybe or something?
He must have.
Guess so. The rest of the team is clapping. I mean, I'm sure they're clapping also because he did a good job, but must have done something else as he's getting quite a bit of praise. leaving the mound.
Yeah, I would say Bill McGee with a much better performance than his last. In his last outing, he only went a 3 1/3 and give up 12 earned runs and 5 walks. 5 walks in this one, but only 4 hits and 3 runs surrendered. So, really good outing from McGee. Has kept this lineup in check up to this point. And it looks like they're going to go to another right-hander. This time it'll be Cole Killian. His 9th appearance up to this point. He's got 7 2/3 innings of work so far. Has given up 14 hits and 11 earned runs and 5 walks. So not great numbers for Killian, but has a big cushion right now with an 8-run lead here with just 5 more outs to go for Mendocino.
Yeah, we'll see what Killian can bring to the table after the phenomenal pitching from McGee. But like you just kind of pointed out, I mean, he has a pretty good 8-run cushion. So unless Solano's bats just go berserk these next couple innings, I mean, he should be able to close this one out for the Eagles.
Killian from Fort Bragg, California. He's a two-way guy, left-handed hitter, right-handed thrower. Killian with 29 at-bats as well, batting only 172 though on the season. So we are ready as Dylan Nazarati will pinch hit for Zion Judkins. Zion went 1 for 2 with that double, came across the score. Nazarati will replace him here in the 8th. Looks like we're going to take a little bit of time here. Umpire got to write down the substitution here.
Maserati from Dixon High batting just right above that 280 mark on the season.
First pitch high. Yeah, Nazarati some unfortunate luck with the hand and also being the second catcher on the team behind Mendocino, who's just having a spectacular season. So hard for Coach Stover to bring Mendocino out of the lineup. That one, a line drive on the ground. Villalobos throw to first in time. So on the second pitch, Naz will ground out to short. Sort of relieving to see a ground out, though, with all the pop-ups and flyouts so far. A little too much hero ball for the Falcons in this one. So 2 outs now. That'll bring up third baseman Michael Vena. He came in last inning for a defensive substitution. Takes a look at strike 1. Oh, 0-1 to Vena. Fastball, great spot on the corner, right at the knees for strike 2. Vena quickly down 0-2. Curveball in the dirt. Vena batting .263 on the season, 10 hits and 38 at-bats. Couple RBIs. Swings through that one, a little indecisive, but nonetheless he'll go down swinging as that'll do it through the 8th for Solano's offense. We head to the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Villalobos, Coffindaffer, and Monday coming up for the Eagles.
We have everything that an automotive shop would have or even a dealership would have.
If you guys are interested in automotive at all, go to Solano Community College. Check out the automotive program. It can be a career path for you, just like what I'm doing, or it could be an extreme hobbyist, an enthusiast.
If you really like cars and learning stuff all the time, then this is the best place to go.
Hi, my name is Cameron Anderson, and thanks for watching the Solano College Sports Network.
My name is Richard Mealy. Thank you for watching Solano College Sports Network.
We're back for the bottom of the 8th. Mealy still on the mound for the Falcons. We'll see if they let him ride this one out and try to save the bullpen. As Solano, only 6 pitchers healthy on the staff right now. First pitch catches the inside part of the strike zone against Adrian Villalobos, shortstop for the Eagles. 1 for 2 with a couple of walks and a couple of runs up to this point. Pops this one up. Pridey shading the sun. Playable, and he'll make the catch in foul territory for the first out.
Nice out by Pridey. Sun was in his eyes for a couple moments, but he was able to get past that and secure the first out for the Falcons.
With 1 out, Brendan Coffindaffer will come up to the box. 0 for 4 to this point. One of the only hitters in the lineup who hasn't joined the party. Only 2 players in the lineup who were starting who haven't come across to score. Ground ball, foul ball down the line for strike 2. Quickly down 0-2. Mendocino with 15 hits to this point and 11 runs to show for it. Fastball popped up. And Mealy will come off the mound, make a nice play for the second out in foul territory.
Saw 3 Falcons kind of go after that ball. It looked a little disastrous, but Mealy sprinting off the mound to secure the second out of the inning and in quick fashion too. So well done for him.
Yeah, not every day you see your pitcher coming off the mound, ranging into foul territory. Richie is a two-way player, though, plays some infield as well, so clearly knows how to field a pop-up. And really at this point, I'm sure in the back of his mind, he's like, let me get any out I can get. Fastball right there for strike 1. Looks like there's a pinch hitter for Jacob Monday. It'll be Alex Whitehead. Whitehead quickly down 1-2. Mealy working fast. Not mad at it. Here's the 1-2. Fastball just missed.
Yeah, Mealy about walked
right halfway to the dugout.
Yeah, right off. He almost sprinted right off the hill, but called a ball. A little surprising from where we're sitting, but umpire's a lot closer than us.
The 2-2 fouled off and out of play. So although we are here at Billy and Louis Yarbrough Stadium, if Solano does not score in the top half, it would be ball game. Ground ball, sliding attempt from Love, no good. So Whitehead will reach here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Normally when we broadcast these games, Solano would get the last laugh in the bottom of the 9th, have a chance to walk it off or eventually tie it.
Yeah, after this next out, I mean, Solano's down their last 3 outs, and, you know, that's it. They're down 8. 9 would be the leading run, and unfortunately, it's safe to say it is possible for the Falcons.
1-0 to Rowan. Rowan, 2 for 4, couple of singles. Fastball just inside. A lot of long faces and disappointment for the Falcons defensively, whether it be the umpire or on themselves allowing 11 runs, although we knew Mendocino averaging 10 runs a game in their last 10 games. So this not very unorthodox or out of the blue.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, most of those kind of emotions and things we've been seeing is, I mean, Mealy's kind of been that guy. We've kind of seen all the emotions from him, and I'm sure he's all the emotions for this team right now.
This one popped up. Love with a nice reaching catch for the third out as Mealy through 4 innings surrenders 5 runs as we head to the top of the 9th, as that might as well could have been Mealy's last pitch for the Falcons as we head to the top of the 9th. Solano down to their last 3 outs. It'll be Pridey, Larson, McClenn coming up for the last chance.
Hi, my name is Cameron Anderson, and I'm the basketball and football announcer. And thank you for watching the Solano College Sports Network.
Welcome back for the top of the 9th. Solano down to their last 3 outs here against Mendocino. Cole Killian on the mound for his 2nd inning of work, as number 2 Justin Boston will pinch hit here. Looks at a fastball way high for ball 1. Boston pinch hitting for Jason Pridey here in Solano's last inning. Fastball in the dirt for ball 2, excuse me. Boston with just a couple at bats this season has mostly been working out of the pen. Fastball looks at strike 1.
Yeah, we're used to usually seeing him on the hill, and kind of unorthodox to see him batting, but he's stepping in for Pridey here, and let's see if he can make the most of his opportunity.
Big cut, swing and a miss from Boston. This is just Boston's 2nd at bat of the season, now 2-2. Fastball right there, got him looking.
Been that kind of low strike zone area, but we were kind of talking about earlier, it's kind of been going for both teams, not just one way.
So here's Ryan Mitchell with 1 out. He will pinch hit for Jimmy Larson and play right field if Solano is able to tie it up. They would need 8 runs in order to do that. 1-0 to Mitchell. Fastball. Deep fly ball. Center fielder running back. He will make a nice catch on the track for the second out. Nice contact from Ryan Mitchell, but gets nothing to show for it. 2 down now here in the 9th.
Yeah, it looked like Mitchell was going to send this one out of here, but fortunately didn't go that way, and it picked up Mendocino's second out, and they are 1 out away from winning this one.
Here's Cooper Hack, outfielder number 27, appeal, and he went around for strike 1. So Solano down their last out here in the top of the 9th as the away team in danger of losing here, 11-3. Fastball, another strike. Right there for strike 2.
Still a bit of a weird feeling to say that we're the away team when we're at our home stadium.
Hack down the count, 0-2. Got his first hit in their last one. Fouls this one. No, it's in fair territory. Actually, it'll be ruled foul off his foot. I was a little surprised when I didn't see him running down the line. It's like, dude, that ball's in fair territory, but he knows better than me. Hack 2 for 13 in conference play. Down the count, 0-2, outside, ball 1. Killian trying to retire the last 5 outs to secure his team the win. Strike 3 right there. Hack goes down looking, and Mendocino finishes this one on top in a wide margin, 11-3. Another offensive onslaught for the Mendocino Eagles. They have been on a roll now. In their last 11 games, they've scored 111 runs, averaging 11 runs a game. So that'll do it as the Eagles take the first game here in this last homestand for Solano. We will be back on the Solano College Sports Network on Thursday for our last scheduled broadcast of Solano baseball. Thank you everyone for watching. From everyone here on the Solano College Sports Network with Blake Molina, and my name's Cameron Anderson. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.